Coverage of the tedious, daring, and dangerous work that's taking place at the Champlain Towers and Surfside, where that major catastrophic collapse happened just yesterday. You can see the number of people who have been accounted for, 127, the number of unaccounted for, 159. We just got briefings from both the governor and the mayor of Miami-Dade County, as well as other officials, to where they are basically saying if they could do the work themselves, they would be out there doing it. But we have some of the best urban search and rescue team members, first responders, who are out there trying to dig for any possible sign of life, any possible survivors. But right now we know that the death count stands at 4.
And they are not stopping. We know that's for sure, despite the rain, because the rain is coming down again. We just heard from our meteorologist saying that they're going to get hit with another shower right now. So let's take you out to the scene. Let's go to our Amy Viteri. Amy, fill us in.
Well, you mentioned that shower. That is happening right now. Another challenge first responders are dealing with off and on throughout the day. And two big focal points from this latest briefing we just received from officials. One, the governor saying he has been in touch with FEMA and President Biden, both of whom have pledged any resources necessary as they continue their searching efforts at this collapse site. But perhaps more importantly, moving forward, they have also pledged, the president that is, resources to help if needed in any sort of investigation. This was the first time we really heard the governor focusing on the fact that everybody is going to need answers, and they are determined to find those as quickly as possible, saying everybody deserves an explanation as to how something like this could happen. They also spoke to the frustrations that we have heard from family members, friends looking for their loved ones, those who are watching this site and feel like things are not happening fast enough or not happening the way they should be, frustrated, worried about loved ones who could potentially be trapped beneath this debris. Fire officials saying, rest assured, they are doing everything that they can. There is not a shortage of resources here. And Mayor Daniela Levine-Cava actually stepping in at one point to address that.
That if I could personally go out and dig, I would dig. But that is not safe for me or for the first responders or for the people that may still be alive. So this is the safe way to do it. And people, of course, are desperate and they're willing to go out and dig themselves, but that is simply not possible. It's not for lack of personnel. We have all the personnel that we need. We're doing this in the way that is preserving lives.
So that is what they are saying. Again, continuing to ask people for patience. We are now in the second day of this process. And as you mentioned, Calvin and Nicole, 4 people dead. Those latest numbers on people missing remain the same, 159 still unaccounted for. Those who have been identified as safe, 127 people. And that is the latest out here at the scene. I'll send it back to you.
And Amy, as you were talking, we were showing pictures of the crews going through the parking garage video that we showed yesterday. And as you're talking about the frustrations of people, and you mentioned Mayor Cava, we heard from her too. We've also heard from those people talking about how they're not seeing the work being done. So I think it's important that we show those pictures, Amy, just because you know, after speaking to the fire marshal yesterday, you've spoken to several people already, that what they're doing is not necessarily always on the surface. They're doing things in holes, in spaces, in pockets. We can't emphasize that enough.
And that's something they have been talking about, but they talked about here today, the urban search and rescue teams, the federal resources, now the heavy machinery. They say they are doing everything that they can. They have not stopped working since this happened. Regardless, the mayor says people having that sense of desperation, anyone looking at something like this, worrying that a loved one could be in there, would naturally want to go there and do what they could. But what she is saying is they do not have a shortage of people. They do not have a shortage of resources. And these people, she says, are the best at what they do. They are the best equipped to find anyone who could potentially be trapped in there. But obviously standing by, waiting for answers, such a difficult task. Asking for patience at a time like this is simply unimaginable if you can put yourself in these families' shoes.
That is a great way of putting it. And our Amy Viteri live for us.